Mumbai really become a world-class mega city? That's what this event that's been organized by Mumbai First has been all about. And joining us now is Mumbai First Chairman, Mr. Narendra Nair. So always great to talk to you. You've been looking at the city, its issues, and trying to raise dialogue for many, many years. First, let me ask you, how is it that you thought of this partnership with the EU? Because, in terms of just scale and size, Mumbai and European cities would be quite different.
Yeah, see, but these European cities have, over the last sort of 60, 70 years after the war, have done a lot of transformation, a lot of regeneration has taken place. There's a lot of experience in building. For instance, look at London. We're talking about transport. London has got an excellent transport system there. And on the governance, London is very much one thing. Cities in Europe and they've got excellent water management system, waste management system. So they've got a lot of rich experience available, which we would like to share with them. But so in the past there have been member countries, Germany, France, Spain, they come here with small delegations and they share their experiences, looking at their own companies' objectives, etc. So here we thought we should bring in a total pan-European experience here. Actually, the idea of this came from last year. The European Commission President was at this India-European Summit in Delhi, and after that he came to Bombay, met the Honorable Chief Minister, and we're discussing on this. And the Chief Minister said, we'd like to have the European experience on policies, formation. Yeah, so let's try and work this agenda. So after that, I met the European ambassador. I said, look, you can have discussions, but let's set up a little working group and see what we can really do. So it started from there. Then we talked to the Chief Secretary. He fully supported this idea. And there we are now. We had this 2-day mega conference. We've got 35 experts coming in from Europe, from different countries. You have people from Spain, from Sweden, you said, or from London, from Germany, from France, from all the new countries that have come up. And it's a very rich experience. We're having a wonderful meeting.
Well, of course, they're bringing in expertise from their respective home countries, all the delegates who've come. But the one issue that keeps coming out, and it's come through this conference as well, is that Mumbai's basic problem perhaps is the multiplicity of civic agencies and who is talking to whom and the coordination, rather the lack of it. Do you see things changing? I mean, how does one move forward with these new models given our governance system?
Yeah, but that is, I think, a big challenge. And we do realize that. And one of the things that we've been saying from the last 7, 8, 10 years that I've been associated with the program, as I said yesterday, I've dealt with 4 chief ministers, 8 chief secretaries, and 5, 6 MMRD commissioners. And we do see there's big challenges, the coordination there. We saw the biggest problem there in this was after the floods in July 2005. I think the 5 or 6 of floods took place. And after that, what happened was you had the MMRD commissioner blaming the police commissioner blaming So I went to the chief minister, Mr. Vilasrao Deshmukh, late Vilasrao Deshmukh. I said, so who is responsible for it? What is this problem? And at that time, we had a task force which was looking at the various issues. So then the chief minister said, okay, I will set up an empowered committee. So we have an empowered committee headed by the chief secretary. It's a very powerful body, headed by the chief secretary. And this is the only body where you have the police commissioner, the MMRD commissioner, the BMC commissioner, MSRDC managing director, CIDCO vice chairman, managing director. All the key players sit on that committee with 8 members from the private sector, which has never happened before in empowered. So they discuss the various issues. But this is only a committee. And you discuss.
It's not an ultimate decision-making
body. It is decision-making, but nobody to follow it up. So decisions are taken there, but then they're left to the individual agencies to follow up.
And then the ball starts getting tossed back.
So what we are saying is very strongly, okay, this is fine. In fact, I said to the chief minister at that time, look, so will it work? He said, look, work for a little while and then we will see. But at least we got something on table. So we are now very strongly advocating is that there should be a CEO for Bombay. Now, yesterday we had a session on governance. We want elected mayor there, which is like in London and New York, etc. But that's not going to happen. That is our wish, our aim. But not going to happen. There are a lot of implications, complications there. What is the next best step? So let's have a CEO of Bombay. And whether you call him a CEO, whether you call him a commissioner, whether you call him that, should be in charge of the whole city. And somebody coming from abroad may say, I want to talk to somebody who's in charge of the city, he can go and talk to him. Today somebody comes and asks me, who's in charge of the city?
Nobody
knows that. So that is our aim. We hope that.
But what sort of powers would the CEO be vested?
CEO could have tremendous powers on that, because they could bring everybody together. He could and depends who the person is. And if you have a very strong man who can coordinate all this thing, and you should work out. In my views, my view is he should have the rank of a Minister of State and work out of the Chief Minister's office.
Right.
So equivalent to somebody working in the Prime Minister's office, PMO office, you have to have a Minister of State, etc. He needn't be a politician. He could be, like you have in Planning Commission, you have people who have been brought from the private sector in the members of the Planning Commission. So you could have people, somebody who commands respect, with work and who can draw upon the respect of all the bureaucrats, all the agencies there. And the very fact he works out of the Chief Minister's office, that is where his power will come.
Sure, that's a very interesting concept. I wonder if it found any resonance within the powers that be.
We're working on it.
Okay,
we're working on it.
All right. So, of course, lots of issues have been discussed in the conference, from waste management to transport. What do you think should be the order of priority for the civic government right now as we see Mumbai?
I think the biggest thing is transport. You need to have a good transport system. When we first set up this first study we did, Bombay First and McKinsey, and we said you need a good transport system. We said, at that time I submitted a memorandum to the Prime Minister, and it was 2005, and said, sir, we need 7-point agenda. And one of the things I said, your city needs a metro system. A city like Bombay doesn't have a metro system. And he said, yes, I fully agree with you. And that is when the metro idea came up. In fact, the JNURM, what is now called, is a result of that discussion with the Prime Minister at the end of 2004, early 2005. If you look at Mr. Chidambaram's budget speech of 2005, he made a very specific comment. He says, we recognize the importance of cities and transport, and I'm allocating 5,000 crores in the budget to help a city like Mumbai, he couldn't say only Mumbai, but Chennai and Calcutta, for their metro system, for water, and one or two other areas. So that then became 50,000 crores that developed JNURM. So that is, I think, you've got to have a good transport system. We've done a transport study in 2005, 2006, a unique study has been done, and we identified a lot of areas there. But it's taken a long time in implementation. Now the 9 corridors have been identified, planned. But at the moment, for the 5 years, 7 years, we haven't got even 1 corridor ready. So you've got to look at the holistic planning on that. That is one. And the other thing is, what needs to be done, the concept plan. That's, as I said yesterday, it's been a very haphazard planning. Because there are different agencies involved, somebody says there are 4 or 5 different agencies involved, they say, okay, I have a problem here, so he will build a flyover. But he doesn't look at what happens before and after and after, because that's somebody else's responsibility. And even within the organization, the left side of the road is handled by somebody else, the right side is handled by somebody else. So you have confusion. So it's
quite unique, this problem to Mumbai, isn't it? Even within the country, we don't see other cities struggling so much.
So, but this is why because this city has developed. I mean, it was a population of 1, 2, 3 million people going back 40 years ago. Today you've got 16, 17, 18. So we need to have a plan. We said, look, we must know where we are going. And unless you know where you're going, no wind is favorable. If you're sailing in the sea, it doesn't matter where you are, which port you're going. But if you don't know which port you want to go, it doesn't matter which way the wind is blowing. So we said you need a plan. So after a lot of persuasion, we got the government to agree to prepare a 40-year vision concept plan, so which is now. Yesterday was presented by the MMRD Commissioner. He was very much involved with the whole idea of a concept plan, and that is showing where we want to be in 40 years' time. The population is going from the metropolitan region. We looked at metropolitan region rather than the island city. It's going to be getting up to over 40 million people, which is more than most cities, world cities today have population under that thing. So we need to develop that. We need to look into that. That I think is needs to be attention. That should be adopted by the government as a master plan.
Sure.
And then the various agencies that are working on the municipal corporations with the MMR should follow that pattern.
Sure. Finally, as we look at the new year, what are the next steps for Bombay First? What are the major issues that you'll be working with after this conference?
Well, first thing we'll do is after the conference, we're going to say how can there's no point in having a conference with experts coming unless we take work. So we can work with EU to have an agenda to take forward. What are the issues that we're going to take forward? What are the sectors we're going to work with, and probably carry out a little more detailed studies with them based on European experience, and that will be the agenda not taking forward in the next year. So we should do that, and we hope that by next March we'll have some sort of agenda worked out. And what is the agenda for the Bombay First? But there's several agendas we're looking at, but I would like to see a CEO of Bombay.
Ah, that would be a great starting point, absolutely.
That's right.
Thank you so much for talking
Thank
to
you.
us.
Good.
Thank you.